For the past few months, I've been trying to get out and go on a backpacking trip. To catch the sunset and sunrise on the peaks of the Cascades near my home. Let's start with a story of bugs, heat, and unsuccess at Scott and Benson Lakes. I had planned to go on a grand loop the next day, the 17-mile Obsidian Scott Trail. That night, I just had an awful time trying to find sleep. Instead of attempting my longest single day on a few moments of rest, I backed out of another adventure. The next opportunity came a few weeks later. I would hike along the Pacific Crest Trail to an alpine meadow on Mount Hood called Paradise Park.
It's sewn up the sun. Now we're coming undone. And I face the fact that I can't turn my back on all that I have known. It's time you took me home to where the lines are drawn.
I've been trying to put together a video for quite a while. Back in March, I went out to Santiam Pass to try to record a snow day adventure. But it was so warm and the snow was so soft that me and my hiking boots were sinking far too much to really do anything. Shortly after, in April, I went to Central Oregon to do a trail in the Cove Palisades State Park. I wound up calling it short after All Trails had an error loading the map, and I couldn't find the trail. My car was also not in great shape that day, which may have contributed. Eventually I stopped, not able to find the inspiration to make a video I found worthwhile. Then, I got the itch for adventure again and decided to try for a very long day trip. That's where this video started. I drove out to Scout Lake, I camped along the northern side, and did a day hike out to Benson Lake not far away. It was incredibly hot, much hotter than forecasted, also very buggy. I had a Thermacell insect repeller, which worked at camp, but if I ever left the little dome of no bugs, it was intense. Due to the mentioned lack of sleep, I backed out on yet another adventure. The next opportunity came a week or two later. I set aside time to go backpacking on Mount Hood. You may have noticed the fairly abrupt end to the filming. So let me explain that. The route I had planned for the return trip took me from my campsite on that ridge around to a few different waterfalls in Paradise Park. I even filmed a little bit of me talking to the camera, outlining my plans for the day. As I was getting my water for my morning coffee, I noticed a pain in my left knee. By the time I had finished tearing down camp, the pain was getting very persistent, but not awful. I came to the conclusion that I should just hike the 5.5 miles back to the Timberline Lodge. I still hoped that I could visit the waterfall at the Zigzag River crossing, but by the time I reached the river, it was clear that my knee was not in good shape. Not visiting this waterfall was a real shame, considering as I arrived, the sun was just cresting the ridge above, and it passed right over the top of the waterfalls. The last 2.5 miles were probably the worst hiking experience I've had. My time was evenly split between resting and moving. Every step I took sent a sharp pain from just below the outside of my knee to just above. A good portion of this return trip was done with my leg locked, swinging it slightly wide so that I could move with less pain. By the time I got back to my car at Timberline Lodge, I was definitely not in the mood to go for a post-hike meal and film it, so I just grabbed my remaining granola and drove back home. I may be trapped here at home for the next month as my knee heals, but I look forward to putting together another video.